Hey, it's James Raby. We have to say something here, but I don't want to say much. Thanks for listening to the Y105 FM Early Morning Show, Radio On Demand podcast. Love you. The day on the Y105 FM Early Morning Show, starting off the day with fog, but then it'll be cloudy and a high around 75. Well, what up tonight? No rain tonight, just clear and 54. And then tomorrow, a sunny Friday. Just going to be beautiful. Let's do the smile of the day. This is about a couple that saved a neighbor with CPR. Newsweek magazine says a husband and wife from from York Haven, Pennsylvania, saved their neighbor with CPR. Chris Favorin was doing jumping jacks when he had a heart attack. He went to Chris and Rachel Murray's home next door and rang their doorbell. Chris works as a firefighter, while Rachel works as a nurse practitioner. The perfect home to be next door to. They opened their front door and immediately began CPR on him. His pulse resumed after 14 minutes of CPR. He's expected to make a full recovery. His pulse returned after 14 minutes. 14 minutes of CPR. That is incredible. You would need two people in shifts. Man, that is huge. That reminds me of a story that's up on the Y105 FM app. Oh, I can't think of the name of the town now, but it's part of the legendary Minnesotans story group. The whole town practically was in line to do CPR for this guy while they were waiting for the helicopter to arrive. I don't remember what the circumstance was, but for like over an hour and a half, everyone in town was lined up to help. Very small town, very cool people. It is Y105 FM's Early Morning Show.
Here's what you missed.
So much. You don't even understand it. Hi, it's James Raby. It's Y105 FM's Early Morning Show. I really do. I do. So Jennifer Lopez's best friend, Leah Remini, missed her recent wedding because she dislikes Ben Affleck. That is the rumor around the campfire. And a source told news outlets, Leah isn't a big fan of Ben's. They don't get along, and when you go up against someone's partner, you always lose. Leah was there for Jen when Ben broke her heart. Leah knows everything, all the ugly details about what went down between her best friend and Ben. So is that a legit reason to skip the wedding if it's your best friend? I am sorry to admit now. Back then I thought I was all full of, I was right. This is the right thing to do. My girlfriend's sister was marrying a guy that I, to this day, don't think is a good guy. They seem to have worked out their differences, whatever. That's good. I'm happy for them. But I didn't go to the wedding because I couldn't stand him. And I thought she was making the biggest mistake in the world. And I regret that decision. You know, I was her sister's boyfriend. It wasn't my job to make a statement like that. Anyway, I feel bad about it now. And Carly said, it's like a bad car accident. You just got to look. You know, you see that accident, you know you're supposed to look straight forward, but yeah, and sometimes at weddings are like that. That's kind of funny. Ellie says, of course I'd go. If it's my best friend, I wouldn't miss it for the world. Even if I disagree with their partner, I'd still want to be there on what's supposed to be a happy day. I like that attitude. Kathy said, I would go. For my best friend, I'd put aside what I think for one day and make sure theirs is interrupted because of me. That's just a jerkhead crap face thing to do, James. Aw, I like that phraseology. I'm not in control of my friends' lives, and they can do whatever they want with their lives. I just have to accept their decisions, whether I agree with it or not. And Monica said, this is all through the Y105 FM app. You're welcome to comment if you'd like to. You could also just hit the little microphone on the Y105 FM app. You open it up right there. The boop on the bar is a little microphone, and you can tell me literally what you think. Monica said, yes, I would go. I would be there and hope they prove me wrong. Isn't that the whole thing, right? Don't we want our best friends to have the best life possible? Don't we want to be proved wrong? I would be thrilled to be proved wrong in that kind of case. It's such a fantastic attitude. I would not abandon my friendship because they're making a choice. I would not. That line is reserved for certain criminal activity. That's an interesting point. And, there are some people I've had to stop hanging out with because they won't stop talking about certain topics, but I don't consider them not a friend. I just consider that relationship kind of on hold until they get whatever it is in their system out. Because, but I absolutely regret my decision years ago not to go. Because who am I, right? what kind of, whoa, you're going to make a big statement here. Yeah. All I was doing was not being a very good boyfriend. It is Y105 FM's early morning show. If you're a Michael Bublé you ever got.
It was one of those horrific, pure glitter matching outfits, and they had the bell-bottom parachute pants too.
Sounds awesome. What?
And it was just all pink and all glitter.
Oh.
It was my sister's, and she outgrew it, and they're like, "Oh, well, you'll wear it. You can fit it. It's not too big. You'll grow into it."
Yes.
And it was horrendous.
Yeah, it sounds like you'd actually just be leaving glitter everywhere you went. And we all know what glitter is, the herpes of the craft world. And do you want that? No, you do not. It's National Secondhand Wardrobe Day. I don't know why they can't just say hand-me-down day. I lived through plenty of hand-me-downs because I have 2 older brothers and 3 older sisters. We won't go too far into that one. But, Carolyn, you have a story about getting a hand-me-down from your mom?
This was mom to me.
Okay.
I didn't have a jacket to wear, so my mother gave me hers. Her coat was 3 times sizer than me. It was emerald forest green combination, and it had silver glitter all over it with a fur rough collar around the headpiece. I cried all the way to school, and she followed me to school to make sure I didn't take it up and stuff it in a bush.
Of course she did. That's hilarious because that's where that belonged, in the ditch. Hand-me-downs are a part of life, right? That's how we can joke about it. If you got a good one to tell, I would love to hear it. 507-292-1053. It is the Y105 FM Early Morning Show. I'm James Raby. A 100-foot fall from an Oregon hiking trail took the life of a Minnesota woman. Next in the Y105 FM Early Morning Show News Minute.
Here's what you missed on the Early Morning Show.
Our county sheriff's office says a hiking accident has taken the life of 62-year-old Minnesota woman as she was enjoying a day outdoors in Oregon. Good morning, I'm James Raby. This is the Y105 FM Early Morning Show News Minute. Fog till 9, but after that, what about it? We'll have a forecast in less than 60 seconds. Last Friday, Jessica Ware Jonas from Carlos, Minnesota, and her friends were hiking 35 miles east of Portland when she left the trail and fell 100 feet to the ground below. See how the rescue team reached that difficult-to-reach spot on the Y105 FM app. Also on our app this morning, Cannon Falls man transporting 35 YMCA campers arrested for DWI. July was another record month for jobs in the Rochester area, and confrontation leads to felony assault charge for Casson Wrestler. And the rabies shot. A valet car parker from Monte Carlo recently crashed a $1 million Ferrari. The guy didn't know how to use a stick shift, and he crashed into a bunch of mopeds. Why would you even try? If you don't know how, why would you even try for $1 million? Oh, my goodness. Y105 FM weather for today. Fog till 9 o'clock, then cloudy. The high should be 75. Tonight, mostly clear and 54. Then tomorrow, beautiful, sunny and 78. Over the weekend, looks like we're going to get some more rain. Fog till 9 today, then cloudy and a high 75. It is 65. And President Biden announced yesterday he's going to provide $20,000 in debt relief to Pell Grant recipients and $10,000 for many other school loan borrowers. What I want to know is, who has the highest debt? When I had my medical stuff, I was in the neighborhood of $30,000, $40,000 in debt. Who has the highest debt? Would love to hear about it right now on the Y105 FM Early Morning Show. Here on the Y105 FM Early Morning Show, I'm James Raby, and he knows someone with enormous debt.
I know a guy, $1.2 million.
Whoa!
Not managing rental properties right, tax evasion, you name it, my friend, he did it.
Wow.
He had a lot, now he's got nothing.
Wow.
He's pretty notorious for my hometown for being known as not taking care of his debts, and the city got fed up and ruled against him for $1.2 million. I'm sure he's still dealing with it, but he's got nothing now.
Holy moly. This comes up because President Biden announced yesterday providing $20,000 in debt relief to Pell Grant recipients and $10,000 for many other school loan borrowers. I know a lot of folks are upset about that. I think it's fine. So much money is forgiven and whatnot on the corporate level. And if we don't figure out a way to get all these loans paid back or dealt with somehow, it's gonna crash the economy. But notwithstanding that, biggest debt. Like I said, I think I told you I had like $30,000, $40,000 in medical debt that I paid off through the grace of friends who were very helpful and encouraging to me. And a house sitting gig that made me not have to pay rent for 3 years, right? Really totally blessed. I get that. But who's next? We have, was it Rose? No, it's Deb. Deb, it's your boyfriend's debt or your debt? I'm not quite sure.
My boyfriend.
Okay.
My boyfriend.
Okay.
He has over $60,000. He bought a golf cart and made it look like the Batmobile.
Oh, cool.
Actually, it looks so cool. He mounted speakers in the back, and then he got him a bat on the hood. He's got racing seat covers. He's going to get racing harnesses for the seat. It has a sunroof. Oh, man, he buys all kinds of crazy things.
That is awesome, Deb. Thanks for calling in. Yeah, if you can handle the debt and you want to have a Batmobile golf cart, go for it. I'm not the one that's going to tell you it's a waste of money. Do what you want to. You can afford to do it. That is fantastic. It is. Wow. It puts my debt in perspective, though, especially if you were messing around with like the previous guy, Connor. He talked about a guy who had wild amounts of $1 million plus debt because he just didn't take care of the properties. He was renting out, all kinds of bad business practices. Oof, that will catch up with you. You have to be wildly savvy and wildly rich to begin with to be able to afford all the attorneys that'll fight those battles for you and tie people up in litigation so long they might give up. Oof. Anyway, it's Y105 FM's early morning.
Kennel to the coop, whatever.
Named Dan Fifield. He and his wife put together The Landing, a safe place to land, a soft place to land for folks that are dealing with homelessness in our community. And I saw a really cool picture on their Facebook page, so I said, hey, could you give me a call? And I believe right now on the Y105 FM Early Morning Show, this is Dan.
It is, and I'm wearing my best radio voice for you today.
And it sounds wonderful. Dan, I'm so glad you called in. I just saw the most adorable picture on the Landing's Facebook page. What's that all about?
Oh, it's just some of our young supporters out there doing what's good in the world these days. Two young ladies wanted to have a lemonade stand, and Mom said that she'd match whatever it was that they raised because they wanted to donate it to the Landing MN, and that's what they did. They raised $140 altogether that they dropped off to us yesterday, and want to apply that to purchasing a building block in our building blocks campaign at the Landing for a new building.
That is so great. That is so great, Dan.
Well, it's real exciting when the young folks in our community learn about us and want to be involved, and it's a great example. There's some folks out there raising some really stellar young kids, so I'm really excited to see that.
Let's talk a little bit about the Building Blocks program, because I'm really excited that you are actually doing the Building Blocks deal so that you can have your own place.
Well, we're really excited to look 2 months down the road and know that we'll have a home.
Right.
Because we've bounced around over the last 3.5 years to multiple different locations, and there's never really been any certainty to, where we're going to hang our coats up the next day or our hats, or where our friends were going to have a place to exist during the day. So it's really exciting for us as an organization, but more so for our friends that are experiencing homelessness, that they will have that place that they know that they can come to day in and day out.
Well, it is the former pawn shop, right? That's the area?
Right. Yep. It's 426 3rd Avenue Southeast, right next door to Domino's Pizza. We've become really good friends with them. Their pizza's great. So anyway.
Right.
Yeah. So great location right around the corner from the warming center. So it should work out really well.
Dan, I got to get going, but thank you so much for what you do and for the people that work with you and all the volunteers, and also for sharing some time today. You and Sheriff Torgerson are absolutely the best at calling back when I say, hey, you got a few seconds? Boom.
Hey, I know what kind of trouble I get into if James calls and I don't call him back. That's that's not good. I'm going to throw one more thing out there. If anybody wants to learn more about the Building Blocks campaign, they can find out all about that on our website, thelandingmn.org.
If you're a Michael Bublé fan, sit down. Eve, which is, of course, really Thursday, but I like to be positive about it. The fog is burning off, and life is good, even if it's a bit cloudy. Hi, I'm James Raby. It's Y105 FM's Early Morning Show. Time for the Raby Shots. Doughheads in the news. And we start off in Los Angeles County, where a jury awarded $16 million to Kobe Bryant's widow, Vanessa, yesterday. She sued the LA County Sheriff's Office because deputies shared Kobe's death scene photos on their smartphones and at parties. Man, that is just a trash move. I'm glad she got the money. I think it's a lot of money. I'm not sure that's appropriate, but oh my gosh. I suppose you got to send a message, and that's something that people understand. If they keep having to pay out huge sums, you're entrusted with some really big things, and you can't just be showing that stuff around. That's private stuff, man. Lincoln, Nebraska police are looking for 2 women who trashed a local McDonald's restaurant. The women angered other customers when they held up the drive-through line by refusing to order. No word on why they refused to, but the manager said, hey, could you all move along? And so they went into the restaurant, shattered a cookie case, and then did a karate kick at an employee. Kia! Roadhouse. The women left. The women rather left. They posted surveillance videos of the women and hoping to find out who they are. And finally, a new survey says phrases people at work hate the most. So if you say these phrases, you get a rabies shot. Resizing the company when you mean we're just firing a bunch of folks, so we can do some stock buybacks. I'm going to need you to, and then anything. I'm going to need you to stay late. I'm going to need you to do blah, blah, blah. Because they think they're asking, but they're really just telling you. So just say, hey, here, do this. And then we're going to push that meeting back a week when they really mean we're moving that meeting ahead a week. Just kidding. No one cares about that except me. The third thing really is people hate to hear at work is you're not showing me much loyalty. The loyalty push. And how loyal are you to me, manager? Blah, blah, blah. I don't even know your name. Blah, blah. To me, you're just blah, blah. I don't get that. I'm very fortunate to work in a place that no one says, you're not being very loyal to the company. I do my job. I have a blast, but I'm really fortunate. If you are dealing with any of those phrases, I get it. I get why you want to give them a rabies shot, and I'm doing it for you. Booyah. In fact, BYOB. Bring your own booyah.
You know that sound.
Hey, it's James Raby. Thank you so much for listening to the Y105 FM Early Morning Show Radio On Demand podcast. I hope you'll subscribe and tune in Monday through Friday between 6 and 10 for more fun than you can shake a stick at.